Hey guys, welcome to my tutorial. It's 2 Latin Kid, and today we're going to be going over how to make StarCraft 2 maps using the StarCraft 2 map editor. Currently, the version is 1.4.2, build 20,141. The reason why that's important is because later on in later versions, the layout may have changed and there might be new options, maybe some like worthless options have been removed. Like things like that. So keep that in mind. I don't want you guys rage commenting saying, oh, there's no more modules button and things like that. Alright, so let's get started. So first we're going to take a look at this toolbar right up here. Yes, it looks overwhelming, I know, but just stick with me. Take a look at file. You're going to have your basic options right here, like the manage published. That would be like maps you put on to like online for people to play. And this is your recent maps right here that you've been working on, presses, configure controls, things like that. Edit, that's pretty self-explanatory. View, if you ever want to like fool around with these options, go ahead. Just be careful when you do so. I don't have any need to, so I'm probably not going to be going through that in the tutorial. Data, self-explanatory, but it's not as friendly as it looks. Like right now I'm in the triggers module, so this data might look different in different modules. So like creating new things that happen in the game, like if a unit enters like a certain area, the game will like kill a unit, like things like that. Like just a huge spectrum of what can be done with that. Modules button. This is very important because your modules are your map. Like you got your terrain right here. That's self-explanatory right there, and God help you if you don't know what that means. Triggers is like I had just said, with the unit enters the region and it dies and all that. Data is gonna be like where you create units, edit units, like say like a zealot has 50 damage per strike. You can edit upgrades, make new upgrades if you wanted to, things like that. Text, I don't feel like it's important enough to go over in the tutorial. Import is importing data into a map that you're working on. Window, there's like a bunch of options that you can use with this, like a console. For skilled map editors, you can use this console to do things. I'm not that skilled as to use the console. Messages, if you ever get any messages from StarCraft, like unable to load image from this file, it'll pop up there. Usually it's not like devastating messages, it's usually just little warnings. File transfer is explanatory. Script test, that's going to be your triggers. For now it's not important. Lighting, explanatory but complicated. Previewer, if I'm right, that's for models and all that. So like let's view a Zelnaga tower. There you go. And that's what that does. Alright, so first thing is we're going to go to file. I'm sorry, first let me switch over to the terrain, my bad. You're going to click on file, new. You're going to select map, and you can change your dependencies. Your dependencies determine what data is going to come out from actual StarCraft files. So say you want to use units from the campaign that aren't in the regular standard multiplayer like unit set, you can go ahead, add Liberty campaign, Liberty story, but for now we're not going to worry about that. Width of the map and height of the map is very self-explanatory. Base height, you can drop that down to 5. You never want to do random height because it's just going to create a whole bunch of mess. Like if you ever just want to see what it is, just click it and just make a new map. Texture set, it's going to be different grounds for you to work on. Some grounds are unbuildable, so let me look for one that's unbuildable. Well, there's some that you can't build on, and I'm trying to find one, but you know what, just for the sake of the tutorial, we're not going to worry about that. So, Agria dirt, and that's just what we're going to do, so we're going to click OK. We're going to wait, and there. Now, yours doesn't look like this. Yours looks like without the grid. So I personally like the grid because, hold on, I need to figure this out real quick, because it's good for placement, so that you can know where your buildings and where your units are gonna go. Alright, so this yellow dotted line is where your camera can go, so your camera can't pass this line, this yellow line, which is kind of blending in with the green line. And the red right over here is unbuildable because it is outside of the map. No units can pass this right here. They can't. So that, yeah, it's pretty much self-explanatory. When you're in terrain editing mode, I suggest going to view, looking down, view entire map, and just zoom in a little bit to whatever you need. Alright, so say you want to make a Zergling at the top of this map right here. You're going to click on this button right here where it shows a picture of a Zergling. That's going to take you to your units. It's going to load the palette. What you're going to do is you're going to select player 1 right here. You can go to melee, Zerg, and we're going to choose unit, just so it narrows it down. Let's look for the Zergling. It's going to be right here. We're going to click it, and we're going to just place it on the map. Right. So right here, I'm going to save it. And I'm going to press this button right here, which is gonna directly open up StarCraft and open the document. So here's gonna be just the regular loading screen. Well, I have a triggers debugging window right here. It's not that important. And as you have noticed, it says tied. Why? Why does that happen? We will go over that later when we're working on triggers. So here's what I'm talking about. The camera can't go past this area right here. Fairly simple. You can have control over your Zergling. Let's go over. Now here's what I mean by the red right over here. The unit cannot go into this red area because it's just like blocking it. So you can try all you want, but it's just gonna stay along that edge. And when you're creating units, and say you do something wrong, you didn't want to place an extra unit right here. You didn't want to place a unit right there. While you have while you have the Zergling selected, you're gonna press space, and it's gonna open up the selection thing. Not open up, but you're gonna be able to select a unit. And as you can see, this little Zergling selected, and you can just press delete and select a group, move them around, delete. You can even do that. And to get back to adding units, you just press a space bar, and that's it. Alright, so why did we get that tied screen? Simply to answer that, we're going to look at this second, that's going to be about the 5th set of buttons. You're going to look for the one with gears on it, and that's going to be triggers. It's going to be a triggers module. So you can just press F6, or you could go to modules, then select triggers, or you can just press this button. And right away you should notice this trigger right here, melee initialization. What that is when you're creating a map, this is the first trigger that's made. It's automatically made. It's in like Blizzard maps. It's in any map that uses standard melee, like where you have to base race people and you got ultralisks and zerglings and infested terrans and things like that, like noob stuff, like cheese. Back on topic. So melee initialization. What this means is the second the game starts, all this stuff goes into play. So let's take a look at this. Name of it, self-explanatory. Name is here. It's gonna change there. So events. You're gonna notice this right here, and you're gonna notice game map initialization under it. What that means is it actually describes it to you right here. This event fires when a map starts running. So as soon as you're done loading the map, this is what happens. Then events, since that is an event, it has to have an action. So it's gonna do all of this stuff. Set melee starting resources for all players. 50 minerals that you start off with. Create melee starting units for all players. You got your nexus and your probes. Start the melee AI for all computer players. That's when you're going against computers. Set default melee options for all players. That's self-explanatory. Like it enables the victory and defeat and reveal for all players. Things like that. And you're trying to make a map that doesn't include any of this. What you can do, you can select it right here. Delete. Save it. Test it out. No tide dialogue. And you still do whatever. But, as you may have noticed, you don't have any minerals. You surely as hell don't have any supplies. So, that's pretty much it. Let me check the time real quick. Going on 12 minutes. That's going to be it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Look out for some more tutorials, as they will be awesome. Thank you and goodbye.